Hello, my name is Christian Green, and this is my podcast, Love, Divinity, and Tranquility. And before I get started, I just want to say that I'm a product of my environment, simply wanting to be heard by the world, and I will be heard by the world because my pain is valid, and the feelings expressed and conveyed through this episode will be felt by everyone who listens. If you're wondering what the name of my podcast means, um, love, in my words, is the driving force and power of the human race and our inspiration to carry out our daily tasks. Divinity being the divine power of sheer will and determination. And finally, tranquility being the mindset to keep us focused, a calm and level head. Since this is my first episode on such a large platform, I wanted to talk about the world and how our current way of living our day to day life can't continue if we want to save the planet and honestly save ourselves from destroying ourselves. I know that's a big claim and a harsh way of thinking, but every sign that the world is giving us is saying that something needs to change and something needs to be done, or our time is slowly running out. Honestly, drastically running out. Where I live, it's been around 70 to 80 degrees and it's supposed to be winter. And if that's not a sign of climate change, then I don't know what is. And if this continues and the temperature keeps rising, we won't be able to go outside for more than an hour or two before we pass out of heat exhaustion. So it's very apparent that something needs to be done about the current situation. And this brings me to my first point that I want to talk about, and that's our beliefs. Now, as humans, we correlate our beliefs to our motivation. So, when our insignificance was told to us by saying how tiny we are from a TV screen with no definitive explanation of the world around us, it destroyed our drive for change. We must understand that each soul has an unmeasurable amount of value, but we have to find that value within ourselves and put our beliefs in ourselves and understand that we as a species have never reached our full potential simply because we've been fighting each other for so long. Just think what we as humans could do if we all put our minds together. If we all use the knowledge that we've obtained through the years and built the future in a brighter image, built the future in God's image. And how would this dream come true? We must put our differences aside and self evaluate. Accountability must be taken for us to move forward. Just think, will we be able to accept that our entire existence was spent fighting each other until the bitter end? We're simultaneously killing the planet and ourselves each day that we are not focusing on changing our current way of living, which is killing the planet. The entire world is composed within you. So you must understand that you can manipulate the world in any way imaginable. Before cars and concrete buildings, our ancestors lived off the land, and they did a pretty good job of doing it. Life was a lot simpler and easier a few hundred years ago. But we've been tricked into thinking that monetary gain is the only way of living, and it's not. It's not even natural for us to work as much as we do. It's very apparent that we are being exploited on every aspect of life for capital gain. We work at the expense of our literal life force. We are being robbed of our own prosperity and digging a hole we can't climb out of. We are moving too far ahead without discussing our past and owning up to our mistakes. We are quite literally losing touch with reality. Self reflection must come before growth. So, how can we move forward if we still blame each other for our problems? We've made life this difficult for ourselves, as if survival itself is a competition amongst our species. It is up to humanity to save itself. We've all been caught in a loop of time, some of us driven by outdated ideals, some of us too confused to care, and some of us too disheartened to work for change. Well, now is the time to realize that the future is right now. Not 20 years ahead, not a few months ahead, but every present moment is the future. So let's start to change the world around us. Violence has been a part of our story for far too long, and it's starting to slow down our progress for building our future. We are no different from the animals we gasp and awe at on TV, but our use of words have made us hate each other. These said animals have mastered the art of teamwork, and we could learn a thing or two from our earthly kin. So how exactly can we say that life is all well and good and we're the ones killing the only thing keeping us alive? We cannot keep ignoring the issues and feeding ourselves these lies. There's more bullshit on the internet than words in the dictionary, and our freedom is being disguised as drugs and alcohol. We've made it an occupation to deceive each other. So why not believe the people that mastered their surroundings, that being our ancestors, instead of the people that have mastered you, and that being the billionaires and companies that invade your privacy and life on a day-to-day basis for capital gain. We are more reluctant to start a riot amongst ourselves instead of holding the people accountable that put us in this situation. So how long do we plan to be divided? Until the earth outlasts us all? Our potential has never truly been shown. If the global temperature raised 1 degree a day from carbon emissions, the world as we know it would be wiped out within a year. So how serious is climate change? That's for us to decide as one sound body and mind. Love is the only hope that we have left in saving ourselves from ourselves. The apocalypse, meaning the discovery of our true nature, has been happening since the start of the pandemic, and nothing has changed. We must strive to do better and have hope within our hearts to recover from the great deal of damage we've self-inflicted. With that being said, know your value and know that your ideas are gifts from the universe. Our journey is just beginning and love always prevails. Be proud of the things that we have accomplished, but understand that it was done while we were divided as a whole. Human potential has no bounds, and with positivity, anything is possible. We have an invisible foe, but that doesn't mean that it can't be overcome. The earth is already aiding us in this battle, so we must listen to her and let her guide us on this journey. I hope I made my point with the things that I've said, and I believe that if we get on the same page, we can achieve this goal of slowing down the exorbitant increase of CO2 emissions and rise of temperature. I'm going to end the discussion here. I want to give a shout out to everyone on the planet because your actions turn into my ambitions. And no matter your creed or color, we're in this together. So let's build a sustainable world. Any feedback or constructive criticism will be highly appreciated. So leave it in the comment section below. And remember to be a beacon of love and positivity within your community. Thank you for listening.